NFC West title by way of Saturday's outcome in the early action. The Pats, they're in the playoffs, but still business to be done between them and the Bills. The Jags have also punched a playoff ticket, but trying to get it done over the Texans. The Steelers, with a win on Sunday, could lock up the 4 seed and the AFC North. Back in studio with the fellas to dive into some of what we saw on Saturday and what it means moving forward. And I want to start right there with that Sunday matchup, Mac. It's the age-old Aaron Rodgers taking on Shedeur Sanders. We know Rodgers has played in games where Shedeur's dad did as well. It's a storyline made for movie, but the storyline coming into it is win and take the division, move forward with that sort of confidence. Where's your confidence level in Pittsburgh on Sunday?
Well, my confidence, of course, is with the Pittsburgh Steelers because what I've seen from them, led with Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback position, has been an offense that has really taken another step in terms of being explosive and being able to score in multiple ways. Running the football with Kenneth Gainwell and Warren, these two guys have really found their niche within the offense. You look at Aaron Rodgers and the rhythm. Their cerebral game is still there. The above-the-shoulder game is still there with Aaron Rodgers. And most importantly, he's having fun. And his offensive line has done a really, really good job in protecting Aaron Rodgers. And defensively, even without a T.J. Watt, I've really been impressed with what they've been able to do. Shouts out to defensive coordinator Terrell Austin, because once upon a time, people were calling for his job. But all he did was blocked out the outside noise and got back to the basics, and they've done a much better job in collectively playing Steeler-like football on the defensive side. But most importantly, stopping opposing offenses' rushing attack. That was the Achilles heel for their defense weeks ago, the inability to get stops against the rushing attack from opposing offenses. They did a great job. They've done a great job with that. So when you talk about this game going to a place where the last non-quarterback named Big Ben was Tommy Maddox in 2003 to win.
It's been a minute.
In Cleveland. That's how long it's been since a quarterback not named Big Ben won on the road in Cleveland. Tommy the Gun Maddox, my former teammate, 2003. Let's see, can Aaron Rodgers end that drought?
You got to shake some of that bad juju, but maybe you bring in a shaman to do so, and it's Aaron Rodgers who will lead the way in that effort. It's a stinky number, 3.5, depending on where you shop. I think that win a week ago in Detroit is we can win anywhere, we can stop any rushing attack. That should give you great confidence moving into this matchup. When you look at these two teams on the same field, we also have history at hand with Myles Garrett, who in the building should be T.J. Watt to watch his record fall, perhaps, and Garrett could take down the quarterback who was standing on the sideline when Brett Favre fell down for Michael Strahan. It's just a confluence of moments here. What has your attention between those two?
Yeah, not only might he sack Aaron Rodgers and, I don't know, tie the record. Let's say that maybe they rest Rodgers at some point and he has to go and get a sack on Mason Rudolph and the history between those two. What has my eye is I do not at all believe that the Cleveland Browns are just going to roll over on this one. You go back to when they played earlier in the year, I think it was in October. It was a 23-9 game where the Pittsburgh Steelers did not score a touchdown until the third quarter. They only scored 2 touchdowns. That was Aaron Rodgers, and he was going up against Dylan Gabriel. Now it's going up against Shedeur Sanders. And let's be clear, Shedeur, outside of that first game really against the Raiders where he got his first start, he hasn't looked that good. And we all have to be upfront and honest about that. How great would it be for Shedeur, who wants to put some good tape on out there, who wants to tell the Cleveland Browns, I'm your guy in 2026. Don't worry about surrounding me with other guys. I'm your guy. Then go ahead and spoil the dreams of the Pittsburgh Steelers, at least for a week, right? And look, the Browns aren't playing favorites, right? It's not like, well, we actually like the Steelers more than the Ravens, and so we want. No, they would love nothing more than to beat the Steelers and just ruin it for them for a week, and then whoever wins in Week 18 between the two teams just goes ahead and wins. So I'm looking for Shedeur more than anyone else, because I know what Myles Garrett's going to do. I'm waiting for Shedeur Sanders to step up, take this bull by the horn, because this can be your job in 2026. It
can be.
Especially if you put it to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, so that's what's out in front of the Pittsburgh Steelers. A win and the division is your situation. Saturday, if we could take another look at that playoff picture, did have big-time implications as well. The loss by the Chargers sets them up now locked into the wild card position, not locked into that 7th seed, but that's likely where they will fall, which means a likely meeting, a trip to either New England, Denver, or Jacksonville. We've talked about it before. JJ, briefly, what about this team offers any sort of hope that they can go on the road and do it? They're just so thin up front, and they strike me as the type of team that would love to have it come through their barn.
Yeah, the Chargers.
That is.
What I'm struggling with is all of the injuries. What I'm struggling with is all of the injuries, especially on the offensive side, around Justin Herbert, how he has to put on the cape and do it by himself, seemingly all of the time. That's not going to be sustainable. They're not going to be able to hold up in that way. And then you consider the Chargers going on the road. The last time the Chargers won a road playoff game, 2018 playoffs, right? It's been a long road for them. And so I don't have a great deal of faith if they go on the road and play a better team. Very impressive what they've been able to do up to this point with all the attrition to even get into the postseason. Credit to them. But it seems like this sort of house of cards is beginning to fall down.
You know what else hasn't happened since 2018? Cue the NFC playoff picture as we see the NFC North champions in the Chicago Bears for the first time since that 2018 season. By way of this Green Bay loss, they are locked in to at least that divisional title. A 2 seed, still a path to the 1 seed. Chicago takes care of business here in year 1 of Ben Johnson. They go worst to first, also had the worst preseason odds to win this division. It's hats and T-shirts for Ben Johnson's boys. Mac, what does a division title mean in year 1 of Ben Johnson's time with Chicago?
It means they're a year ahead of the process. And you're a Chicago Bears fan faithfully, just like a lot of our watchers are. You felt like this would be a successful season. But the job he's done in year 1, I think, has exceeded your expectations. Is that fair?
Certainly.
And I think the consensus would say that as well. So now it's about moving forward because expectations have changed for the Chicago Bears. When you knew that Ben Johnson would be your head coach, instantly you felt like he would get the best out of Caleb, which he's done. Instantly you felt like he would create a foundation within the organization, which he's done, which would warrant wins. But now when you talk about the way you've won and how well you've played, it's like, no, we want more. You expect more. And I believe he will deliver. And it starts tomorrow night in San Francisco. This is one thing that I've learned about Ben Johnson. Every game, it doesn't matter if it's not the Green Bay Packers or the Minnesota Vikings or the Detroit Lions. Every game is personal for him. If you watch how he coaches on the sideline, if you watch his interaction at the end of a game, if it's a win or if it's a loss, regardless who the opposing coach is or the team is, you can tell it's personal. And he has dispersed that entire mindset throughout the entire locker room. And as a fan base, it needs to be personal for you as well. Because momentum is energy it's a funny thing. You can't see it, but you can feel it. You can feel it. Trust me, anytime we play in personal-like matchups, we felt that energy coming from the TV screen, from our fans. We felt that energy coming from the fans in the stadium, granted, if it was home or away. And that's who Ben Johnson is, and that's what he has dispersed throughout the entire city in Chicago. So tomorrow night, even though they're not divisional foes, for him it's personal, and that's the message that he's sending before kickoff. Make this game personal for 4 quarters. And make them feel how much you dislike them because they're standing in the way of something. And what is it that they're standing in the way of, Joe?
Possibly a 1 seed. You got 2 teams on Sunday Night Football vying for that 1 seed. JJ, I'll pose the same question to you, what this means in year 1, but also how does Ben Johnson balance the desire for that 1 seed and momentum and keeping his team healthy? You also have a Week 18 meeting with his former employer in the Detroit Lions and wanting to get a piece off of them.
Yeah, I think more than anything, and I've said this a few times on our air, more than home field advantage, the thing that matters the most is getting that week off. Is getting that bye. So these guys, whatever the sort of motivation, and B-Mac, that was such a great point that you made about how Ben Johnson seemingly makes everything personal. Whether it is or not, he believes it for those 3 hours.
No question.
Right? He absolutely believes it. So to make those guys believe that is one thing. But to let them know that, hey, we're already in the playoffs. right? That you have that mentality because they need to win out in order to get that 1 seed so that they can take a week off so that everyone can get healthy. Yeah. You can get your mind right because they're not going to let up. I don't think that Ben Johnson, even if, let's say, they lose this upcoming week, I don't see him saying, oh, we're locked into the 2, so we're just going to rest our guys. He's not going to do that with this young team. I just don't think that's going to happen. So they're going to keep playing hard because hard work breeds winning, and winning breeds championships. They have the NFC North, and they want a whole lot more than that coming up these next few weeks.
Experience and a cautionary tale in what he went through with his Detroit Lions a year ago, a 15-win season cut short at the hands of a young, hungry team. They're in the divisional round after getting the bodies right. We'll see how they play it in Chicago. You are a divisional champs, Bears fans. Enjoy it. Also,